Welcome back. Class is now in session. We're going to dive deeper into the mysteries that await us going home. In addition to trashing the place, opening every cabinet and not closing it, and just generally picking shit up and throwing it on the ground. Because that's the way I feel. Now, we've cleaned this room out, gone through everything, read everything, even played a cassette tape right here. So now I have to go a little further down this creepy hall. So let's see what's happening. Eraser, which coupons on tortilla chips. Pamphlet. United States Department of Agriculture. Northwest Region prescribed burn procedures and precautions. Okay. Nice little painting. Ooh, not digging this. That is creepy looking in there. As always, turn on the lights. Turn them all on. What is that? Now what I see here, I believe it's man's angst at the incoming qualities of modern day voyeurism and his own disdain of the current socio-politico-economic state. Huh. No, but seriously, I see nothing. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna stop jerking the camera around. Anything in here? Now I learned how to crouch. What is this? Into the white? Into the white. Timing. Now see, a lot of these books are very bland, very old colored, but then you got some of these that stick out, and I can't interact with them, but I'm assuming that they're going to have something to do with something. Here's a big closet. Is it all records? Yeah. No record albums. What is... Ooh. Hang on, let's... More of his books. I don't know if you guys heard that. Here's the other book. Let's read this. Samantha, please give this to your mother. Janice, thank you for having Danny over to your new home. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave my permission. He needs to spend less time with those games anyway. As do we all, Danny. As do we all. No hurry returning it. Let Samantha know that she is welcome back to our house to visit any time. Sincerely, Mary Shoots.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend. And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
Damn you, Samantha, using poor Daniel for his Nintendo. Ooh, some more. There's another letter. From the desk of Donald Fritz, publisher. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, I write to inform you that, unfortunately, Mercury Books will be unable to publish a follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Savior, we went ahead with publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower. What the hell was that? Alright, now I'm freaked out. So, lower than those of the first, and so our stewardship of the series must end here. It's been a pleasure working as your publishers. We wish you and John Russell the best in your future endeavors. So I'm beginning to get the story. He published... Ooh, some vodka. Throw that vodka. Apparently he published a few of these books. The first and this is the second. And then they cut him off, so now he's doing reviews Well, I like the music, but it's a tad bit creepy. World history. I'm sure that's his daughter's. What is this? Reproductive system worksheet 6. Samantha Greenbrier. The menstrual cycle. And testicles. Vas deferens. Period 4, health class. Alright, here's her worksheet. The menstrual cycle. A novella. The early morning of September 1st, 1939. Essa Glatz stares out the window of the train as it travels from Vienna back to her home village of Wayland in Poland. As the train rumbles along and the sun rises over the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she is engaged to wed. Meanwhile, deep within her guts, an ovum starts to develop. Essa's train approaches its destination. Her heart races. The lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. As Essa steps off the train, her eyes dart quickly across the gathered crowd. Then there, her dear Boris, still in his baker's smock. He must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. Over the wheezing of the steam engine, a deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. Dark shadows pass over the station. A whistling sound. Essa, her thoughts only a second faster than the bombs, reaches out towards her dear Boris across the crowd. Their eyes lock, and the moment freezes. The flash and smoke envelopes him almost instantly. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. The rest, including Essa and for a time Borislav, huddle in a half-destroyed church. He is blind. His legs are missing. Bandaged with torn bed sheets, Essa's egg will not be meeting a sperm. It dissolves. About 2 weeks later, Boris loses his grip on life. Essa has given up her rations to keep Boris alive, but in the end nothing can save him. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for a pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. Essa vows to survive. She sets off to join the Polish resistance as a daring spy and saboteur. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. It is incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. See me. Wow, that's rather funny, actually. It's a pretty cool little scene. Ooh, I do not like that thunder. What is around this corner? Alright. Lights on. Turn them all on. As many as you can find. Why isn't that one on? Or is it? Some dice. Katie, please tell Mom and Dad sorry about the stuff that's missing. Sam. No, it's missing. Anything in there? Ooh. Hi, Lonnie. So if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home too, so hopefully that's fine. Right back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can meet in the parking lot after 6. Samantha. Yeah, I'm totally in. See you there. Then I'm going to kick your butt. Get ready. And she's going to do a Dragon Ball Z move, or maybe a Street Fighter. Oh, Street Fighter. But that's not Danny. Ah, she has Danny's Street Fighting game. So Lonnie. So she's using Danny to get to the Street Fighting Nintendo system in order to play it with Lonnie. What a whore.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
I take it back. She dropped Danny because apparently she likes Lonnie. A little lesbianism going on. Alright, so we're going to go upstairs finally. I think the scariest part of this game so far is turning lights on. Or trying to turn lights on. Oop. getting jumpy now. Another pack of cards. Controlled burn scheduled for Boone County. Plumes of smoke will rise above the northwestern region. Blah, 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 blah. Said senior conservationalist. Janice Greenbrier. So the mom works for the forestry department, so that's why we keep seeing all that stuff. Turn them on. Notice of temporary personnel transfer. Bruce Pendleton. To aid in the upcoming prescribed burn operation, a ranger with expertise in the procedure is being transferred to the station at Flintlock. The overseeing officer at Flintlock Forestry Station, Janice Greenbrier, my character's mother, is charged with the supervision of transferred personnel. Okay. Weekly planner. Monday, couples bowling. Thursday, Wednesday, cooking class. Friday, ballroom dancing, scratched out. I don't know if that means they went or they didn't go. Monday, same thing. Ballroom dancing, scratched out. Ballroom dancing, scratched out. Cook the big meal for Terry and Sam. Alright. I like this game. I've never played a game like this where you just wander around and get the story. Bratmobile's potty mouth. Love thing, stab, cherry, bomb, throw away. Okay. That's cool how it opens. This is for Sam. This will be her lesbian lover. You're gonna like this one. Alright.
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right. I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around. I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since.
Alright. Apparently Danny wants his Nintendo game back. You know, people in movies, now in video games, all have the coolest rooms. You know, this is a badass room. Just the layout, maybe not the floral wallpaper. Now, another thing I've noticed, all the VCRs are taken. Adventurous the Cat returns. Oh, thank you. Somebody's pulled all of the VCRs out. There's nothing but wires hanging. Every one. Is anything in here? No. Bratmobile, cool schmoo. I'm gonna close that because it's freaking me out.
We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Fuck you too, cool schmoo.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
I don't wanna sit around and talk about.
Just digging that. That was pretty cool. Chun-Li moves. Hell yeah. Alright. Super Spitfire. Journey of Crystal. Some scuffed up marks on the shelf. Wonder if that means anything. Probably not. Even the closet in this room is cool. Man, I missed out. Got your number. Who's got a crush on you? The King's Labyrinth, fraying threads. Captain Allegra, still in her flowing skirt and sturdy jerkin, descended the single shining thread into the lower cabin of the labyrinth. She and the first mate, on their own now, grew closer to their goal, the throne room of the dead immortal king of the island. The first mate slid down the line onto the stone floor. She swept chalky bone dust from the front of her canvas trousers and looked up at Allegra. The silken thread, nigh unbreakable thanks to the enchanted moss that inhabited the island, trailed behind, leading their way back to the entrance. From further into the labyrinth, a moaning began to echo. The moaning grew louder and clearer. It turned into words from some ancient language they could not understand. The king's cursed voice. The hairs on Captain Allegra's arm stood on end. She looked back at the first mate, whose eyes remained locked on the blackness of the passage for a moment too long before noticing the captain's gaze. The first mate nodded silently ahead. Following the king's ghostly song deeper and deeper into the labyrinth, they came upon a rocky gap spilling forth otherworldly blue light. The great basin on the dead king's throne room lay below, skeletal in rotting robes. The king was hunched over the blue orb, topping his royal scepter. Shadows of his bony fingers danced on the walls like ghouls. As he sang, wailing souls flowed in one by one through the cracks in the cave walls, pulled into the orb, causing it to glow brighter and brighter. Behind the king, a long staircase, hewn from rock, led down into the chamber from a passage at the top. Allegra said, "We have the advantage in numbers. I would draw his attention, and then you." But the first mate interrupted. "No, I am smaller and quicker, and you know of dealing with mystic energies like these. I will circle to the other side, get the king's attention, and lead him on a merry chase." She held up the silk line. "All traced by this invincible thread, of course." Allegra said, "It is a good plan, but perhaps we should go together." The first mate shook her head. "You know this is our best chance. Don't be afraid for me." They grasped hands and exchanged 3 tight squeezes, their palms growing warm. The first mate tied the shining thread to the belt of her trousers, gave a quick salute and a wink, and dashed off. Allegra waited, staring vigilantly across at the top of the stairs where the first mate was to appear. The king continued his, "Wait, no. No." The singing stopped. The king turned and began walking up the stairs. Allegra wanted to call out, to do anything to stop the first mate from running headfirst into danger. She tried tugging on the line, to signal her. No use. The king was nearly at the top of the stairs when the first mate burst through the passageway. She skidded to a stop, even from across the yawning basin. Allegra could see the first mate's eyes grow wide. She turned and ran. Summoning his undead power, the king left the ground, levitating, gliding behind her with distressing speed. From some dank passage much too far away, Allegra heard the first mate scream. She was already running toward the sound. The line in Allegra's hand went taut, then shuddered. It fell slack to the stone floor. As Allegra ran, she was gathering line, twisting it around her arm. She came to its end. The unbreakable thread dangled limply, its end shredded and frayed in her hand. She tossed it to the ground and ran. Ran. So this is a typed up version of... Alright, sorry about that. Had to cut the recording real quick. What is this? Mitten. Where's Mitten at? Samantha. Little plaque. What are you? Another Holy Bible. That's starting to creep me out. All these Holy Bibles everywhere. What is that? K-Sync presents. Another note. "Hi Lonnie, I wrote this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to school. On the way to second. It's what all the cool kids are doing. I've decided. Write me back. Also, here's an idea for something special, something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. Hey, this is a good idea. What all the cool kids are actually doing is sending each other pages in their beepers, but we're cooler than them because guess what? They can't put this on a beeper." Correct you are. "Your drawing of cats was so good that I added a background to make it even better. Maybe I should just stick to the writing though. Haha, I like it. How do you know they were about to be abducted by aliens? I'm looking at Mr. Fish right now. I feel like he would probably have lots of cats. Also, like his secret shame is he watches 90210 religiously. I'll ask him about it after class. He said he doesn't have cats and also that he's never watched 90210, but I could see it in his eyes he was lying." Alright. More pillows. Need a combination. That's the girl from 90210. Forgot her name. There's Jodie Foster. Not sure who that is. Or that. That's Nev Campbell, I believe. And Kim Basinger? Oh yeah, this forgot this game is set. More X-Files stuff. So are we dealing with aliens here? That's the vibe I'm getting. Now, wasn't before, but now I am. Samantha Greenbrier, year 11. Period 5, shop 1. Notes. Not a challenging assignment. Metal plaque for family portrait. And something's creeping in the background. Reasonable subject, but not complex. When I said that mom and dad should be replaced with parents' names, I did not mean just add them underneath. Acceptable leveling on edges. Show more pride in work. So, what are you? The Brother 150. This is the one me and dad are building. Want to go for a ride when it's done? It's kind of cool. Is there anything else I can get to under there? Turn on them lights. Groove. Soul Asylum Live, Eddie Vedder, Weezer. So she's into music. I need this combo. Alright. Goodfellow High School Disciplinary Referral. Mr. eventually observed Miss DeSoto wearing a t-shirt with an unacceptable image. Yolanda DeSoto. I'm guessing that's a Lonnie. On the front, a large beer can labeled Pabst Blue Ribbon. Miss DeSoto was sent to the guidance counselor's office. Miss DeSoto was given the option to turn her shirt inside out, change into a shirt from a gym locker, or be suspended for the rest of the day. She chose suspension. Her father was called, but there was no answer and no answering machine. Miss DeSoto must return this form tomorrow, signed by her father. No parent signature. Yeah, Lonnie. Yolanda DeSoto. That's who we're dealing with. What's this drawer all hanging all over the place? We got up here just regulars. Set of nice literary fiction. What is this? Sam, I think the creative writing track would be perfect for you. Miss Blaylock. English. 3 students from each track will be offered a full scholarship. Alright, so she's taking after her father's footsteps. Alright. Where does this lead? Okay, so came from that way. Anything I can do here? No. Danger, wear goggles and rubber gloves and handling. Oh. Hey Sam, do you want to see Pulp Fiction after school at the Coliseum? It came out last weekend and Todd wouldn't shut up about it. So either it's good or we can make fun of him for liking it. My mom is supposed to cook dinner for us tonight for a change, but I can just ditch out on it probably. What time? Also, isn't the movie supposed to be really violent? Am I going to barf? According to Todd, it's pretty hardcore. I guess Uma Thurman gets stabbed in the heart with a heroin needle. So that's kind of hilarious. Also, something about cheeseburgers is important. Todd wants to see it again. 7:15, okay? Don't barf. Haha, alright, see you then. Barfing burger. So, bathroom. Lonnie rules. Nothing really going on in there. Let's flush the toilet. Ooh. Is that blood? I don't know. Let's make sure we don't miss anything. Oh, you won't open all the way. Is there anything back there? No. Alright, at first glance this looks like blood, but I'm guessing this is going to be hair dye. Yeah. So it's not blood.
Lonnie brought her hair dye over today. She said, I need to fix these roots. Think you could help? Dyeing hair is weirdly intimate. I don't know if I've touched someone else's scalp before. That's pretty intimate, right? It felt intimate. We looked into the mirror together after, and I expected her to say something about how it looked crappy or good or whatever. But that's when she said, "You're so beautiful." And she was looking at me. Right in that moment, I wanted to say something, but I waited. And the moment was gone.
Alright. My guess, the lesbianism was right. So I'm going to cut it here. We're going to pick back up in the parents' bedroom, snooping, seeing what's going on. So, catch you guys on the flip side.